The man who commands most of the secret army is General Vang Pao. He is a Hmong tribesman who worked closely with the CIA in organizing the hill people. Today, along with his secret army role, he also commands all Lao forces in the most crucial military region. We found him helping his soldiers repair shell holes in the airstrip near his headquarters. He is definitely not an armchair general. He's part warlord, part tribal father figure, and the most effective military leader in Laos today. When the war permits, Vang Pao spends most of his time with other tribal leaders. The Hmong look to him for leadership in politics as well as fighting. But in the tribal hierarchy, Vang Pao is not a dictator, but a sort of first among equals. Decisions are reached only after the traditional long discussions with other clan chiefs. But Vang Pao's favorite spot is the front line. Some of his American C.I.A. advisors complain that VP, as they call him, spends too much time in the foxholes and not enough time plotting grand strategy. But the fact is the soldiers, especially the Hmong soldiers, fight best when VP is around. And despite his advisors, Vang Pao is not about to change his style, even when his arrival attracts enemy mortar fire. Vang Pao likes nothing better than playing the role of an Oriental George Patton and personally directing counter-battery fire.
General, what have we got over in that position we're shooting at?
120 mortar.
A 120 mortar?
Yeah.
Well, that makes it interesting.
Yeah.
We're up on Skyline Ridge, which in terms of the war in Laos is likely to become a legend like Heartbreak Ridge in Korea or Hamburger Hill in Vietnam. These holes we're sitting in right now, up until about 48 hours ago, were occupied by one of the best North Vietnamese regiments there is. All these positions off to our front here are occupied by the North Vietnamese. The secret army was not designed to slug it out with North Vietnamese divisions. Their performance at Long Chen has surprised most experts. But the fighting there is heavier than ever, and no one knows how long they can keep it up. Casualties in this year's battles have been the heaviest ever. They are evacuated in American furnished planes and helicopters. Most of those who survive are treated in hospitals paid for and run by the American Agency for International Development. The dead are also flown out, wrapped in American body bags. The lightly wounded can expect to be back in the front lines quickly. They can also expect a visit from General Vang Pao, who tries to make sure they get the best care available. Frequently, he is accompanied by an aide-de-camp with a briefcase full of money. Vang Pao and his men receive their money direct from the CIA, bypassing the corruption that plagues the Lao regular army. By Lao standards, they are very well paid. Critics have suggested that the rice and money from America are the secret army's main motivation.
No amount of money or rice or medical treatment is going to get any young man to stand up and fight the North Vietnamese and run the very high risk of being killed or maimed for life. Because remember, these are irregulars. They're very much like we had in the Revolutionary War in our own country. They volunteered in and they can volunteer out. The Hmong attitude is that this is his homeland. They're here and they're fighting because this is their homeland. They lose this and there's no place else for them to go.
But each year, the Hmong homeland shrinks. The battles are bigger, the casualty list longer, and there are signs of weariness among the hill tribes. Vang Pao spends a lot of time visiting the isolated Hmong settlements, trying to boost his people's morale. Except for the small local garrison, there are usually few men present. They are all away at the front. One of his unpleasant duties is to inform wives and mothers that their loved ones are dead or missing. This week, some units of the secret army refused to continue the fight at Long Chen. But they were not hill people. The Hmong are a tough and stoic race, and as long as Vang Pao is willing to lead, they seem willing to follow.